In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the Flutter package location. This is the simple app we're going to build today, where we simply have a button here to determine our current position. Before we press on it, you can see that there's no position currently here. So when we press on it, first we're going to be asked whether we want to allow the location services. Of course, we want to allow it. And then you can see it will update this text here with the longitude and latitude of the current position. Let's get started. As mentioned, we are going to use the Flutter package location. So go to pubdev.website and click here to copy it to your clipboard. Then in your pubspec.yaml file, underneath your dependencies, just paste it in here and then run pubget. Now there are two additional steps for the setup we have to do. First, for Android, go to your Android folder under app, source, main, and then open up Android manifest. And in here, within the root tag manifest, just give these two permissions here, foreground service and the access background location, in case you want to use the background location within Android. One thing to note is that in Android 11, it is not possible to always allow the location services within your app. So the user has to manually go to the system settings app and enable this. So in case you're running your app also on Android 11, make sure to show this to your user that he has to do this. And now for iOS, underneath your iOS folder, under runner, open up the info.plist file. And in here, this is most likely the only key you need to use, and this location when in use usage description. And then of course here you have to define a custom reason why you want to use the location services for your app. And I just wrote this comment here so that you can later on decide what you need. You can also define this here if you want to access the location services even if the app isn't running. And also if you want to receive the location when the application isn't in the background, you also have to define this here. That's it for the setup. Now let's look at the layout of our app. Here we have a simple scaffold. So I simply built a very simple Flutter app. Within the scaffold we have an app bar, and then we have a body here. And in this body we have a centered column with an elevated button, a size box, and text. First, of course, import the location package. Then I defined here a custom global variable called location data. I made this nullable. So in case if this is null, then we're just going to show these dashes underneath the elevated button for the location. Otherwise, if this is not null, we can then use the location data variable to access, for example, the longitude and latitude of the current user. Or you could also access something like the accuracy or the altitude. So then when we click on the elevated button, we're going to use the function here called determine position. And here we first have to make an instance of the location package. And then we have to first check whether the service is enabled for the location services and whether we have permissions for using it. So if it's denied, for example, then we request permission. And if it's not granted, then we return out of this function because we can't do anything else. Otherwise, if the service is enabled and the permissions are granted, then we can simply assign our global variable here with location.getLocation. Of course, make sure that this function is asynchronous because we have to await this. And then once we have awaited the location data, we can update the UI so that now it shows us the longitude and latitude underneath our elevated button. So as an example, if you're using the iOS simulator, you can go to features, location, and then press on custom location. And then let's say we want to change this here from a 3 to a 2. Let's set this to OK. And now if we run this, then this 3 here will change to 2. As you can see here, it updated it. Also, if you want to get continuous location updates, you can have access to a stream by simply using the location variable here, as we defined here, and then on location changed .listen, and then the location data here. So this is the same as this here. Then you can do whatever you want with the current location. So we could, for example, just update the location data variable and then set the state again. So this will then automatically update whenever the device location changes. Also, if you want to enable the location services in the background, you have to do this manually by saying location.enable background mode true. I hope you liked this tutorial. Please leave a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below in the comments, and thank you for watching.